We are back with episode 5 of Tom's Stadium Takes and Travels. This is our second Major League Baseball episode, so be prepared for a longer episode. I am at my hotel just next to the Mall of America here in Bloomington, Minnesota. So much good content will be coming your way. I could not be more excited. Full disclosure, it is Thursday evening, August 8th, 2024. As I am recording this, we're going to take this episode into Friday and Saturday, as well as both days, the Minnesota Twins will battle the Cleveland Guardians. The Minnesota Twins started in 1961 after relocating from Washington, D.C., where they were the original version of the Washington Senators. Now, the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul operate as one big metro area. There's a reason they're called the Minnesota Twins, as well as Minnesota Vikings, Minnesota Wild, and Minnesota Timberwolves. That way, not only can they unite the two cities, they can unite the entire state. A man named Calvin Griffith relocated the franchise from DC to the North Star State, and when he got here, he realized the two cities didn't always get along so well. There was a heated rivalry between the two teams that played in the American Association, the Minneapolis Millers and the St. Paul Saints. When Griffith arrived in Minnesota, he wore a hat that said TC, meaning Twin Cities. He wanted the franchise to be called the Twin Cities Twins, but Major League Baseball pushed back on that, saying people would get confused on where the team is based. So he settled with Minnesota Twins, the first team in North American professional sports to be named after a whole state or region, not just a city. Griffith still managed to sneak the Twin Cities branding into the team's hats. That is how this logo came to be. Today, the Minneapolis Millers no longer exist, but the St. Paul Saints still do. They are, in fact, the Twins' AAA affiliate. The Twins have played in 3 stadiums since they first came onto the scene, and their first stadium, Metropolitan Stadium, was literally the site of where Mall of America is today. Home plate of Metropolitan Stadium is actually in the theme park of the mall, Nickelodeon Universe. The Twins shared the place with the Vikings. The constant wear and tear of going back and forth between baseball and football really took a toll on the place, like it did in all these other multi-purpose stadiums in that era. The place also held less than 50,000 people, and when the AFL and NFL merged, the new league told the Vikings they got to play somewhere bigger. And of course, what's Minnesota famous for? Yup, cold and snowy weather. The Met was an outdoor stadium, and it really exposed fans to the brutally cold Minnesota winters. It only seemed right to move into a dome, and that's what both franchises did in 1982, moving into the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome. But just like every other multi-purpose venue, the dome did not age well at all. The lack of natural light really hurt the place's image, and whenever too much snow fell on the roof, it collapsed, and it had a serious collapsing problem. By the 90s, the dome had become quite unpopular, and then the Twins were calling for a new stadium that was specifically designed for baseball. They had problems at first, and it nearly cost them. The Twins almost got contracted by the MLB, and they also seriously considered moving to Greensboro, North Carolina. Thankfully, in 2005, the Twins and Hennepin County would reach a deal on financing a new stadium, and in 2006, the Minnesota government enacted ballpark legislation making the place official. And Target Field was opened in 2010. All right, that's enough Twins history for you. I'm going to hit the hay for the night, and then tomorrow we're going to hit up Matt's Bar, get ourselves a Juicy Lucy for a good pregame meal, and then we'll make our way over to Target Field and enjoy some good Twins baseball.
Whenever I'm in Minneapolis, there's no better place for a great burger than Matt's Bar, the home of the Juicy Lucy.
All right, here is America's best burger, the Juicy Lucy. So good. Absolutely amazing.
Here's our first look at Target Field. A lot of stadiums for their exterior will use brick, steel, or concrete, but for Target Field, they built their exterior with Minnesota-made limestone. A very cool touch. There's also this really cool wind veil just outside the stadium. And as you can tell, it got pretty windy on the Friday night I was there. Time to walk around the stadium. We'll begin with the upper concourse. I have no clue what this train is doing here, but it's a nice touch. Here's what a view of the upper concourse would look like if you sat here. Target Field also has some bar areas out in center field. Let's check those out. Baseball isn't just a man's game. A number of women have made an impact on the game as well. Here's a list highlighting those women.
easier and harder to catch. Whoever catches the most will be our winner. All right, Pops, go back a little farther, maybe to that shade. Here's first. He was barely moves, makes the catch. Well done. Okay. Here's your second. I can hold on.
This area is known as the Gate 34 Experience. You'll see a good photo opportunity with the big red Twins letters out there, as well as games of bags, and even a game of Connect 4. It's like a nice lawn area.
Partner 2017 Slender winner company in St. Cloud.
Out on the field is the Twins mascot, TC Bear. He's a very fun and lovable mascot. He's even got his own statue. Let's take a little time to enjoy the Twins starting lineup video. Couple things to note out in center field. The batter's eye, as you can tell, is very green. It's a bunch of plants on their side. It really gives the place a nature kind of vibe. And just above that, right below where it says Target Field, here's a cool fun fact for you. The color-tinted glasses that you see are meant to spell Twins in Morse code. Now that is interesting. Time to try out some Twins concessions. We begin with the Twin Pills beer.
Beer of the Minnesota Twins, proudly brewed in St. Paul. Toast to the Minnesota Twins.
Now we make our way over to Kramarchuk's to get a sauerkraut brat.
Here is the Kramarchuk's brat. Let's give it a try. Like the one at Charles Schwab Field. It's great.
Meanwhile, let's take a look at what's happening on the field. As you see out in center field, the Minnie and Paul logo just above the target field sign lights up after a home run. If you look closely enough, you can see the twins, Minnie on the left side and Paul on the right side, shaking hands as the Mississippi River flows. It's a throwback Twins logo.
All right, I am back in my hotel room after the game. I went to the game with my family, and unfortunately, they wanted to leave early, and they dragged me out with them. But don't worry, we'll be back there tomorrow. A lot more great content is on the way. Stay tuned in.
Whenever you're in Minnesota, Mall of America is a must visit. It's America's largest mall, and of course it also features America's largest indoor theme park. This place simply blows my mind. All right, well, welcome back everyone. We are on day 3 of this episode, and now we're in the Mall of America and the Rainforest Cafe, the original Rainforest Cafe, that is. Looking forward to a very tropical lunch. Python pasta and strawberry mojito hit the spot. I'm back in my hotel room, gonna decompress for a bit, and then I'll make my way over to Target Field. One thing we haven't done yet on this vlog is take public transportation. Right now I'm on the Blue Line Metro here in Minneapolis, headed to Target Field from Mall of America. How convenient. There are plenty of public transportation options here in Minneapolis if you're trying to get to Target Field or US Bank Stadium for a Vikings game, or the Target Center for a T-Wolves game, or the XL Energy Center for a Wild game. Hopefully we get to vlog those venues in the near future. But for now, we're taking this train all the way to Target Field. One other thing to note on these trains is that if you want to go to a Twins, a Wolves, or a Vikings game, you take the blue line. That's what I'm doing right now, of course. If you're going to a Wild game, you take the green line. The blue line takes you to downtown Minneapolis. The green line will take you to downtown St. Paul. Just thought I'd throw that out there. This here is US Bank Stadium, the home of the Minnesota Vikings. There was actually a game going on when we went past it. The Vikings were playing a preseason game against the Raiders. It lies on the former site of the Metrodome. This place really does look like a Viking ship. If you're trying to get to a Twins game from someplace in Minnesota just outside the Twin Cities, you can take the North Star Line. That's Minnesota's commuter rail. We're now going to take a look at the numerous statues that surround Target Field, but before we do, I want to take a moment to point out that the gate numbers at Target Field represent the numbers of the statued players. Gate 34 is for Kirby Puckett, Gate 14 is for Kent Herbeck, Gate 6 is for Tony Oliva, Gate 3 for Harmon Killebrew, and Gate 29 for Rod Carew. Now let's move on to the statues. Here's Tony Oliva. Next is Kent Herbeck. Herbeck, a Minnesota native, even has his own restaurant in the stadium. Up next, Rod Carew. Here's Kirby Puckett. And finishing off the player statues is Harmon Killebrew. Killebrew even has a red seat in the theme park at Mall of America. That seat marks 520 feet, the longest home run in Twins history, hit in 1967. Another fun fact, this giant glove outside of Target Field sits 520 feet from home plate. This glove honors all the Twins players who have won the Golden Glove. But ironically, Killebrew never did win a Golden Glove. Other statues outside Target Field are this giant baseball, which honors all-star games the Twins have hosted. Carl Pohlad and his wife Eloise, who got this place built. Here's Bullseye the Target Dog. Speaking of Bullseye the Target Dog, you'll see him peeking above outside right field, wagging his tail on the walls of the Target Center, the home of the NBA team Minnesota Timberwolves. If you couldn't already tell, Target is based in Minneapolis. And here's legendary manager Tom Kelly, who won the Twins the 1987 and 1991 World Series. Let's make our way back inside the stadium. Let's go in the gift shop. Let's take a look at the Twins City Connect uniform. Now this looks more like a State Connect jersey than City Connect. It's blue and it has a ripple effect to it because Minnesota has lots of water. It gets darker as you see as it gets deeper, like waves on a lake. The yellow accent represents sunlight. The chest marker has the state initials along with the North Star. On the sleeve patch, the state bird, the loon, is what you see there, with the star appearing as the beak. The body is a raindrop. Baseball stitching represents the eyes, and the blue hues are more ripples from the waves. On the hat, the top reflects the northern lights. The middle refers to the sky, and the bottom represents the water. The North Star shines on the Twin Cities, and the hat brim underneath has the topography of Lake Minnetonka, which is a nod to Prince, who of course was a Minnesota native. In the 1984 movie Purple Rain, Prince says you have to purify yourself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka. Also, while in the gift shop, I had to get my nephew some gifts. As of this recording, he's just 5 months old. I got him a stuffed TC teddy bear and a soft baseball bat and ball. Buying him gifts from these gift shops is one of my favorite things to do. Another great thing about the Twins is that they have an organist, and her name is Sue Nelson. Let's take some time to let her tickle those ivories and entertain you a bit. We already walked around the upper concourse, and the bar is out in center field. Let's check out the main concourse. The Twins have a bar on the first base side of the field called Truly on Deck. Here's what a view from the place looks like, and inside you'll find a lot of great Twins memorabilia, including the 1987 and 1991 World Series trophies.
Every day, any Cornell. An incredible shortstop who started the 91 World Series with a 3-run home run. Please welcome back, Greg Gagne. 30+ saves in 5 seasons. He closed out 3 of the 4 wins in the 91 World Series. Rick Aguilera. We worked in the Twins front office.
Let's head back to the concession stand to get ourselves a walleye burger.
Is it as good as it looks?
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Here's the 10,000 Lakes cocktail.
Cocktail. Another very Minnesota drink. Solid. Very solid cocktail.
Finally, we end with a s'mores boozy ice cream.
That chocolate syrup is really strong, but it's good. Very good. Love it.
It's always fun when teams put on these character races. The Twins character race has a very good Minnesota vibe to it. Let's check it out.
One down, one alive, and he's your best friend and mine, bullseye. 3, 2, 1, go!
As we were approaching the end of the game, the Twins put on this hype video to open up the 9th inning. It was a good game and the Twins were only down 1. Could they pull off a comeback? Nope. Before we wrap this episode up, I'd like to give a big shout out to the guy who played a key role in inspiring me to start this vlog. I met my guy Spencer Collins at the game on Saturday night. He's from Ohio and was repping the guards. His channel is at SAC Sports Adventures. Be sure to hit that subscribe button for him. Lot of great content on his channel.
Well, the one full Twins game that I went to, they couldn't get it done. Final score, Cleveland 2, Minnesota 1. If you like this video, please be sure to give this video a like. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you love Stadium content as much as I do. Thank you so much for watching. Signing off from Target Field here in Minneapolis. We'll see you in the next video.